Paul Morrow here. Smart Financial Lifestyles, back again. This time we're talking about colleges, and we're going to talk about bargains, which I know is not a word you normally hear when we talk about colleges. So colleges are a huge expense. It's a huge worry bead for parents. It starts as soon as the baby's in the crib. You get flooded with mail from every investment firm in the world that wants you to open up what's called a 529 account. And that's nice. These are like guilt trip mailings. I mean, they basically send them to every parent who's got like an 8-day-old that they just brought home, and they want to make you think that if you don't start putting away $10,000 or $20,000 a year for these kids, that you're some kind of a terrible parent. All right, don't buy it. So, number one, most of these 529 plans, by the way, they're okay. They're just a mutual fund spray painted a different color for each state's approval. And that's all right. And if you have a lot of cash and the grandparents have a lot of cash and they want to open up a 529 plan, it's a nifty device. It's like the lowest life form, really, of college planning, right? It's just really basic. Save up a lot of money, pay the bill, right? So when it comes to college, you have a few choices. That's one. One is, right, just paying cash. Also, if you're fortunate and you have super smart kids, they're going to get scholarships. Or if they're great at sports, I will tell you, in my practice over the last 50 years, I have seen some wonderful niche scholarships, by the way, especially women in hockey and Princeton University, full ride for women in hockey. Or my alma mater, Northeastern, one of the Beanpot schools. For those of you that are following along, the Beanpot is the hockey tournament in Boston that involves my alma mater, Northeastern, Boston University, Boston College, and Harvard. And we all play hockey against each other. And I'm very proud to give my Northeastern Huskies a plug. Both the men and the women have been winning the Beanpot, and that's a great thing. Now, back to business. College is not inexpensive, and the average cost of these big Eastern colleges is $80,000 to $90,000 a year. So when I talk about bargains, we're going to talk about some schools that are much less than that have a great reputation. But there's cash paying, there's scholarships. Of course, there's sports scholarships. It's a very small percentage, but sports scholarships are big, right? Then, frankly, there are smart financial grandparent trusts for paying for college. It's chapter 1 of my book. Please read it. Or if you have a grandparent of a newborn, give them the book and say, this is a really good idea, right? And then there's another option I'll tell you about. So I have a story about Deborah, a client of mine, daughter of a long-term client, a daughter of a family whose father worked really hard, didn't have a ton of money. She was bright, but there was no way that we were going to get all these kids through college writing a check. And so she joined the Army. And if you join the service and they put you through school and you become a pharmacist, and then if you stay in the service, as she did, and you get a couple more degrees, right? They pay for that too. She moved up, and you get out of college, you're a second lieutenant, and then you move all the way up to be a colonel. And recently, she retired from the military. She did her 20 years and all that. She loved the career, but she just retired and became a dean. Now, I will tell you, this is a great real life story of how you can get kids through school. The military is a great option. We have a lot of military friends, ex-military friends. My father was Navy, right? We have friends who have taken the military solution. It's a great solution, by the way. There's nothing negative about it. So let's talk about some of the schools in New England, though, specifically. And you can reach out to us for the list. As I said, just ping us, write a question below, email us, go to our website, whatever. But there's about 10 great East Coast colleges that we consider a bargain. Number 1 on the list is Clark. It's actually right near Mass College of Pharmacy, Worcester, Mass. Clark has got a great school, a great business school, and it's really like only about $60,000. I hate to say only 60, but that's what it is compared to Georgetown, which is at $80,000 a year. So that's what constitutes a bargain in this day and age, right? Also, SUNY, the State Universities of New York, are quite a bargain, especially SUNY Binghamton. These are great schools, and we're very fortunate to have them in New England. Now, also, for people who are technical, WPI, one of my most successful friends, and actually we have quite a few people who went to Worcester Polytech. You'll notice, by the way, this is the 3rd school in Worcester County, Massachusetts, the 3rd school in the center of Worcester. Now, we also have Holy Cross, which doesn't make it to the bargain list, but, in New England, it's a target-rich environment for schools, right? This means that many of your children, if they're interested in great schools, they'll end up at Harvard, MIT, all the Boston College schools and all that stuff. Those don't necessarily fall into the bargain category. However, Worcester, which is about 30 miles west of Boston, is the home of a bunch of educational institutions, including WPI, Mass College of Pharmacy, Clark. So if you go to WPI, right, it's a great technical school for engineers. It's only about $50K a year. That is a crazy low number in this day and age in 2025. Also, we're very fortunate in Amherst, Mass, to have University of Massachusetts Eisenberg Business School. Now, UMass itself has a ton of campuses around. Amherst, Massachusetts is about 45 minutes west of Boston, and out there we have the Eisenberg School of Business, a great business school. These are just top 4 or 5 of our list of 10 schools that you can look at that are what we consider to be a bargain for the education. Yes, if you have the money, and yes, you're a great saver, and yes, your child gets into Harvard or Yale or Princeton, and you write the check, I think you're never going to regret it, right? I think those are great schools, but they're not within the financial reach of a lot of families, especially a 2 or 3 or 4 child family. So, this is Paul Morrow. I'm here at Smart Financial Lifestyle, and our job is to help you get the most for your money. So, reach out to us, and we will get you the list of what we consider to be the top 10 bargain great schools in New England where you can get an education for a reasonable amount of money. That's just the art of being smart.